very, very irate and out of reality. Women are not naturally crazy. No, they are not. Women have something called intuition. I have 7 sisters. Again, this is not a bias. It's just simply is letting you know that Brother Rizza Islam has a personal understanding of exactly how women and men, because I'm a man, but women, how they think, how they experience things different from how we experience them. A woman can be called a female dog. Sisters, I don't want to say the word. I might say the word, but right now I don't want to say it. But a woman can be called a female dog, and a man can be called a female dog, and it will affect us both differently. Period. Calling a woman a female dog is something that will affect her. Calling a man a female dog is something that will affect him, but it affects us both in 2 different ways. I want to make this very clear. So when somebody says, "Oh, you just crazy," to a woman, let me say this to you, brothers and sisters. On behalf of black men, sisters, I'm saying this to you. I apologize on behalf of black men who have not done their job. I'm only saying this because this is how we are taught in the nation. We have not been there as men. We have not done our job. We have not protected you. We have not provided for you the way we are supposed to entirely. We may have provided financially. We may have provided physically with sex. We may have provided with a roof over your head. We may have provided with food. But women require emotional support as well. As a matter of fact, out of all the things that I just named, women require spiritual and emotional and mental support above everything else. As a matter of fact, every human being requires that more than anything else, but in particularly a woman requires spiritual, mental, and emotional support and help more than anything else. They are emotional by nature more than we are. Men have less emotions because we are by nature protectors and fighters. So therefore, when we are out fighting the enemy, we cannot come up with all the ways to be so logical about their pain. "Oh, I hit you, I'm sorry." No, we are protectors. So by nature, our emotion is less. The woman's nature is higher. Why? Because she has to carry a physical human being in her womb between 8.5 to 9 months or 9.5 months. She has to literally provide the mental stability. She has to provide the emotional stability. She has to provide the nurturing, the caring. She has to do all of this, which requires a higher level of emotion. I'm only saying this so I can explain, and I'm laying the base before I go to the next point that I'm going to go into. But family, trust me when I say this. Sisters, you're not crazy. All right? You're not crazy. On the other hand, brothers, when a brother or a man is saying to you, "Sisters, not all of us are like this. Sisters, not all brothers ignore you. Sisters, not all brothers disrespect you. Sisters, not all brothers are dogs. Not all men are disrespectful. Not all men only want sex. Not all men are trying to get something from you. Not all men are here with some backdoor agenda that they are trying to lie to you or in a secret, conniving, cunning, deceptive, intelligent way to get from you. Not all of us are like that. And I do apologize because, sisters, you have been through so many negative experiences with black men to where it's very difficult for you to even believe that good men even exist. Because so many of these black men or these brothers dressed in suits, spoke eloquently, were very respectful, met your parents, said all the right stuff, took you out to eat. No, I don't want sex from you. Denied you the first time when you got to the point where you wanted to, give them sex, and they were like, no. They pulled you in. I I know what I'm saying. I got 7 sisters. I'm telling you, I know. They made themselves so perfect. And brothers, I'm not perfect. Let's make this very clear. I'm not perfect. Now, but let me make this very clear, very clear. And I'm gonna make this all the way bone straight. Brother Rizza ain't never raped nobody. Brother Rizza ain't never molested nobody. Brother Rizza ain't never physically taken advantage of no woman. Brother Rizza ain't never punched no woman. So I can speak from a position that's a little different. All right? But let me just finish what I'm saying. Women, and particularly black and brown women, and all women, have been taken advantage of by men. Yes, you have been. Women, and particularly black and brown women, have been mistreated by men. Yes, you have. Women, and particularly black and brown women, have been lied to by us, black men and men in general. Yes, you have. Women, in particular black and brown women, have been physically abused and beaten by men. Yes, you have. Women in particular, and particularly black and brown women, have been raped, molested, impregnated by men, forced to have abortions. I got 7 sisters, right? So I'm speaking from a position. Hold on. I am speaking hold on 1 second. One second. I'm speaking from a position of understanding. All right? Now, brothers, because we are not women, it's difficult to understand sometimes. Because on the flip side, sisters, a lot of brothers have been misused, taken advantage of, and because we're men, we are looked upon as not having emotions. We just supposed to take whatever. And I'm a soldier, so don't get it twisted. To shed a tear doesn't mean it makes me in any way soft. And it definitely does not mean that I cannot fight 5 to 10 men physically at one time. So let us never get it twisted. Some of the strongest soldiers will shed a tear. So don't get it twisted. Ever. Brothers have been taken advantage of. Brothers have been taken advantage of. A lot of black men can't read or write. Not making excuses. I'm laying the foundation here so we can all understand something. A lot of black and brown men can't read or write. Understand what this does to our mentality. A lot of black men were not raised by men. A lot of black men, all we saw as black men, many of us, were different men coming in and out of the house. Our mother coming in and out of the house with different men. Some of us saw a man butt naked in our mama's bed when we were younger. Some of us saw our sisters with different men. I'm talking about from a child now. I'm talking about from a child. I am not justifying a damn thing that R.Kelly did. Hell no. What I am saying is the behavior that you are seeing is something that was passed down through our experience, going through slavery, being raped every day your ancestors and mine, your ancestors and mine, being raped every day, molested every day, children being raped every day, little girls being dressed up on breeding farms. R.Kelly did what was done to him, and it does not make it right. If he is guilty, take him to jail, period. I'm not agreeing with a damn thing, and I'm not defending him. If R.Kelly is guilty, good, go to jail, simple. But he is not the only one who needs to go to jail. That's my point. Every parent who sold their child to R. Kelly's group, every adult who saw what was going on and looked the other way, take them to jail too. Every damn mother, every father, every uncle, and every aunt, every cousin, every person who has ever witnessed these things and knew about it and allowed it to continue, they too are guilty. Period. Now, all right, y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna pull it back. And y'all might be saying, damn, it's cool, Brother Rizza, it's cool, man. Stop crying, Brother Rizza, it's cool. I'm not crying because it happened to me. Because it didn't happen to me. So let me make that very clear. I'm not crying because it happened to me. I'm crying because I can't imagine. Not even close. What our ancestors went through on a daily basis. Being put through the same thing. Not a year. Not 20 years. Not 30, not 40, not 50. Not 60 years, not 70 years. And don't mind me crying, man. Don't even trip. Don't mind me. Just listen to what I'm saying. Because when you want to hang out a brother, you want to hang out one black man, America. You want to put one black man, one example, America, as though he invented this shit. As though R. Kelly is the #1 pedophile on the planet. When the average American, Caucasian white man has been raping the whole planet and everybody on it. And you tell me R. Kelly deserves, just him. And mind you, I'm not defending him. But R. Kelly deserves a documentary, and the whole black nation doesn't deserve a documentary for what America has done to us? You mean to tell me millions of us, millions, children, men and women, being raped on farms by men, by women with metal utensils? You mean to tell me, America, you are going to go on Lifetime, which is owned by A&E, which is owned by Robert, aka Bob Iger, A&E, which is owned by Robert, aka Bob Iger, who was arrested for child pornography. America. You use a channel owned by another channel owned by a CEO who he himself has been arrested for child pornography. But he doesn't get a documentary. America. See, the bullshit and the hypocrisy is what I don't like. You will not make R.Kelly the poster child for pedophilia. You are the poster child for pedophilia. America. The true documentary is surviving America. The true documentary is surviving white supremacy. And white women have been through this too. The true documentary is surviving this nation. You will never emotionally masturbate my people into making all the anger go to one man who is a product of your system. R.Kelly is a product of white supremacy. He was molested. Why? Because the person who molested him was molested. Why? Because the person who molested them were molested. Why? Because the person who molested them were molested. Why? Because the person who molested them were molested. Why? Because the person who molested them were molested by who? Caucasian slave owners. The behavior that we are dealing with is not our behavior by nature. I don't give a damn what you think. Rizza Islam does not operate on emotion. He operates only off of actual facts. Only off of actual facts. Only off of actual facts. And the average white person today who doesn't do these things, their job should be calling out the origin of these things. It is very simple. I don't care to hear any white person try to say, oh, well, look, we don't all do this. No, you are just as guilty as those doing it if you are not calling those out who are doing it. Ain't no such thing. You are a party to the crime. All of those people who were in the documentary saying that they looked the other way and they knew what was going on, they are a party to the crime. You go to jail. Okay, R. Kelly's guilty. Good. You go to jail. R. Kelly's older brother, who was in jail already. Good. You're already in jail. R. Kelly's younger brother, you go to jail. The agents who were handling all of the business, because R. Kelly is an illiterate man. R. Kelly could not book flights for women and for girls to come to his house because he can't read or write. R. Kelly does not have the ability to write checks and calculate anything because he is illiterate. He can't read or write. So therefore, everyone who helped him to do what he did, you are just as guilty. You go to jail. In law, it is called you are being a party to a crime. I don't give a damn what you think about Brother Rizza because I am not condoning what he did. You keep hearing me say, if he's guilty, take him to jail. But he ain't the only one that needs to be going to jail. Aaliyah's parents. May Allah bless Sister Aaliyah. Aaliyah's parents in 1994, knowing that Aaliyah was 15 years old and R. Kelly was 27, who set up an illegal marriage. Knowing your daughter was 15, but this was a time where it was a major R&B star. He could give us enough money to take care of us forever. And him marrying our daughter means that legally he has to. That at the time, dealing with black people who didn't have much money looked like a very big way to cash in. You go to jail too. But what is my ultimate goal here? What is my ultimate purpose in this? It is to call out the superior, ultimate, original rapist, molester of all of this. Of all. And that is the Caucasian male in particular. You will never convince me to look at one of the products of something that started with you. You will never convince me to look at one of the products that started with you. They had breeding farms, family. Let me explain this. Sisters, don't allow your emotion to become misused by this government. I'm going to tell you this real quick. I apologize to every one of the women and men who were watching that damn documentary because after and during and in the middle of that documentary, I know it triggered you. It it triggered you. Okay? It triggered you. You started to think about the past and what happened to you. It started to make you think about the situation with the man that did what he did with you. It started to bring you back to what happened to you. And I truly apologize, because people who know psychology, this enemy knows psychology. He knows what he's doing. And what does he do? He grabs your emotions and he manipulates them. This is why they added music. They added so much emotion. I was an actor for 10 years straight, right? Professionally trained actor. And I'm telling you right now, they know what they're doing. I saw when they were exaggerating things. I saw the way they positioned the lights, the color of the clothing, the music, and how they enhanced the music after certain things were said to try to grab your emotions, to try to pull you in, and to try to just say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then what did they do? They kept putting back in your face, R.Kelly has denied all these claims. And they said something else horrifically, boom, R.Kelly has denied all these claims. They are programming you. Programming. Why? Let me ask you this question here. If Donald Trump had over 22 women who came out against him and said last year recently that he was sexually doing things inappropriately, 22 women came out against Donald Trump. He doesn't get a documentary, but he is the president of the United States. Okay? Donald Trump, when he was elected, over 100,000 women protested in Washington, D.C. He doesn't get a documentary. Surviving Donald Trump. Okay. Harvey Weinstein, Jewish producer, powerful influencer in Hollywood. Harvey Weinstein had over 80 women. Over 80 women. Okay, now wait. Y'all are like, okay, Rizza, but see, are you trying to justify R.Kelly? No, once again, I don't give a damn about what you say. I am not, nor will I ever justify the actions of anyone who does something like that. I don't care if he's a black man. It doesn't matter if he's black. Because he's black and doing it demonstrates that it was done to him. That's my only point. So no, Harvey Weinstein has over 80 women. Over 80 women come out and say that he sexually did this, he raped, he did this, but he gets no documentary? Surviving Harvey Weinstein? No. Got it. Okay. R.Kelly, good. Did what he did? Okay, good. Go to jail. I have to keep saying this every few minutes for those who just tune in. R.Kelly did what he did? Fine, go to jail. Every person who was a party to it, you go to jail. Every person who allowed it, you go to jail. Every parent who sold their children into this situation, knew where their child was going, you go to jail. Every older woman who was a part of it, who looked the other way, you, sister, go to jail. Every man, every brother, every person who worked in his entourage, who knew about it, you go to jail. Now, what is the ultimate purpose of this, Rizza? Why did they really make the documentary? Harvey Weinstein, over 80 women, no documentary. Donald Trump, over 22 women, no documentary. A man in Virginia. I believe his name is Nathan Larson. Nathan Larson, Caucasian male in Virginia, ran for political office. He is an open pedophile. He ran for political office in 2018, last year. He's an open pedophile. He openly approves of rape, openly approves of incest, openly approves of all of this. He threatened Barack Obama in 2009 to kill him by sending emails to him threatening to kill President Barack Obama. He only served 14 months in prison for threatening to murder the President of the United States. Ooh, okay. No documentary. NAMBLA. The North American Man-Boy Love Association. I hope you're recording this, family, because I'm dropping more bombs than you can hold, and I'm going to keep dropping them so that we can understand exactly what's really going on. Once again, if R.Kelly is guilty, go to jail. Simple. Go to jail. Everybody with you. Go to hell to jail. Very simple. But let us be very factual. Let us be fair. Everybody who commits this type of behavior, this atrocity, this horrific, disgusting action needs to go to jail and needs to face the consequences. The North American Man-Boy Love Association, NAMBLA, founded by a Caucasian man named David Thorstad. David Thorstad was a member of the gay rights movement, 60s, 70s, 80s. David Thorstad, once again, founder of NAMBLA, North American Man-Boy Love Association, was advocating for the love of boys, advocating for something called pederasty. Pederasty is the original version of pedophilia. Pederasty, aka pedophilia, came from Caucasian white men. No, pedophilia did not come from no damn African people. Pedophilia did not come from the original people. Pedophilia did not come from Africa. Pedophilia, homosexuality, all of that came from Caucasian people and Caucasian males. Once again, I do not have to tell you anything that you want to hear. I'm only going to give you the facts on these things. That is why I am Brother Rizza Islam. I am taught by the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, and we taught to speak the truth regardless to whom or what. So I cannot lie to you. Pederasty is the original version of pedophilia, where white males believed that having sex with little boys was best because they believed that women were unclean, women were disgusting, women were nasty, women were damned by God. Hence in the Bible, it has lots of scriptures against women. Hence in all of the Roman and Greek philosophy, they have a lot of things benefiting the man, but not the woman. Hence why in many countries across the world, including Arabic countries, they have had these major issues dealing with women. They have had so much crap to say about women. Women last year just got the right to drive a car in Saudi Arabia, whom America is very good friends with. I want to just lay that as a base. NAMBLA, the North American Man-Boy Love Association, founded by David Thorstad, who was a member of the gay rights movement. NAMBLA, there is a small documentary, I believe, called Chicken Hawk, where it talks about these white men who love little boys. And it talks about these white men who love to do things with little boys, and they believe that it's just love. Interesting. Pedophilia right now, according to the American Psychiatric Association, is being pushed to be switched from a mental illness into a sexual orientation. Yes, meaning gay, straight, lesbian, transsexual, bisexual, pedophile. But instead of calling it pedophile or pedophilia, they are wanting to push it to be called pedosexual, meaning I'm attracted to having sex with children, and I should be included, right? Free love, right? And what train are they running on? They are running on the LGBTQPRSZN. When does it stop? Those within the LGBT need to take the stand against this. You keep saying it's not a part of it when it is. It is. David Thorstad was a part of the gay rights movement. Most pedophiles were a part of the gay rights movement. Let us be very clear here. That is the train that they rolled in on, the gay rights movement. Why? Because people who do not want to practice the traditional natural lifestyle, how every human being got here, which is a man and a woman, you all want to ride something that is opposite or different than that. Okay, well hell, being a pedophile is completely different too. The difference is it's common in European culture and history. It is common for the white man to want to have sex with children. That's common. During slavery, on the breeding farms, they would dress up the little girls and dress up the little boys. They would bring girls to one room, one major large room, and they would have men go in naked and dance and play music. The other room where they had boys, they would go in there naked with the boys, and they would paint their bodies with glittery boys. You remember back in the 90s and 80s when your mama told you don't wear your earring on the left side, or don't wear it on the right side, or don't wear two without wearing the other one, etc. Why? Because you're gay if you wear it on this side, etc. That came from breeding farms. Breeding farms. They made homosexuals. They created lesbianism. They forced little girls to do things with grown men. I'm talking about during slavery, not for a year, not for a year and a half, not for 2 years, not for 3, not for 10, not for 30, not for 40, not for 60, not for 70, not for 100, not for 150, not for 170, not for 200 years, not for 230 years, not for 240 years. And you mean to tell me that you want to put a documentary on R.Kelly, but not this Caucasian white man and this system that has produced all pedophiles? Produced all of this? Everyone who was guilty go to jail. R.Kelly go to jail. Everyone who helped R.Kelly go to jail. Everybody. Be fair with this. But if you want to make a documentary, oh, I do apologize. That documentary was not worthy of being a documentary over Donald Trump, Harvey Weinstein, the American government, and the system of white supremacy called America itself. It is very difficult to hear, but you need to hear this, and I damn sure I'm not about to sit here and be a part of some gathering and some parade and some hanging party for R.Kelly. Rizza, you should be talking about R.Kelly. You should be going in on R.Kelly. You should be saying how horrific he is and how disgusting. No, hell no. You will never get me to talk about R.Kelly over talking about this white man that has done all of this to me and my people, including R.Kelly. R.Kelly is carrying out the activities that came from someone who was not himself. He is carrying out activities that are very common, very normal, very regular for white people, but not common, not regular, not normal for us. Never has it been natural to us to do what he has been doing and has done. Yes, he needs to go to jail for what he did, period. You gotta go to jail, man. Go to jail, bruh. Just R.Kelly, just go to jail. It's okay. Go to jail. On the flip side, however, once again, I will never let this white man off the hook. And I don't care what any of you think. I have white acquaintances, but they are the acquaintances who admit the fault of what their people have done. That is the only reason why they can come around me. The fire that I spit at them is too damn hot for them to sit there and be the same. If you're going to come around me, you're going to be honest about this. You will not stand here and pretend as though nothing happened and your people didn't do anything. I'm not going to join no hanging party for R.Kelly. There doesn't need to be one. If he's guilty, then go to jail. Case closed. Bye. Go to jail. But on the other hand, and in particularly a part of all of that, I'm going to go to the next point, because I wanted to make sure this is very, very, very clear. The last point I wanted to make regarding these breeding farms, the little boys during slavery, they would put them in these rooms and they would give them ear piercings. They would pierce their ears to show that they are now interested in men, to show that these boys can be used for sex tools and for sexual pleasure. The slave master, whenever he wanted, had your daughter, my sister, your niece, your cousin, brought to him in the heat of the night by his own mother, by his own father. He would tell the older slave to go get the little slave, go get your daughter, go get that little boy, go get the little girl, bring her in here. And he would have them bring their child in so that he could have sex with the child. This was legal for them to do to all of us. R.Kelly, huh? Just one? Okay. They did this for years upon years upon years. Okay. They were never brought to justice. Okay. We have not received a documentary. We have not received a goddamn apology. So when R.Kelly is doing what he did, R.Kelly was committing the actions because he was doing what a white man does and what a white man has done. Now, for those who are white in the present time, if you get offended, I do apologize. I don't care if you get offended by me speaking the truth about history. You must admit to it, confess the wrong, apologize for the wrong, and make it right. Step out and say R.Kelly is a product of our system. can't just say, oh, R. Kelly, he's just a demon. Really, bruh? Really, bruh? I do apologize if you want me to say something different, but I'm not going to say anything different. I'm going to stay on the facts. But let me go ahead and go to the next point that everyone needs to hear about. Hollywood, full of pedophiles, and I'm going to say it this way. Hollywood, since you want to do a special on R. Kelly, Hollywood, I find you so hypocritical when Hollywood is full of pedophiles.
Yes.
Open pedophiles.
Yes.
Most of them closed pedophiles.
Yes.
You want to do a docuseries on R. Kelly. The international Jewish bankers and the Jews who own and run not simply America, but Hollywood in particular. Hollywood, coming from the holly tree, the tree dealing with pagan sun worship. Pagan sun worship, where they worship the Roman Saturnalia, where they would have these orgies and they would have these parties during the Greek times and the Roman times, where they would have sex with all kinds of people all over Greece, mainly boys. Hollywood represents Rome. It represents Greece. It represents Babylon. It represents Sodom and Gomorrah. The whole curse of working in Hollywood should let you know exactly what goes on. Terry Crews comes out and lets you know that a grown man grabs his penis in a party to signify that he is owned. We own you. Grown man or child, we own you and can do whatever we want to you. It should let you know Hollywood is full of the behavior that R. Kelly carried out. It ain't just him. I guarantee if they do a raid on most of these studios in Hollywood, you will see bedrooms in there too. That's common. Talking about L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard talking about R. Kelly, talking about Mr. Farrakhan, talking about Elijah Muhammad, talking about, you want to talk about all these people, but you don't want to talk about Elvis Presley. You don't want to talk about Donald Trump. You don't want to talk about Harvey Weinstein. You don't want to talk about, good old famous one who came out and blasted Hollywood. Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman is an actor, Caucasian male, who blew the whistle on Hollywood, on exactly what Hollywood is doing in particular, right? Gotcha. He blew the whistle on what Hollywood is doing and how Hollywood has an entire pedophile ring. Thousands of people running it. Thousands of people involved. You have sex trafficking of children in Hollywood right now. In Hollywood right now, the sex trafficking of children. You have something called Pizzagate. 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 Remember the things that I'm saying to you. Pizzagate. Hillary Clinton, who when her emails were brought out, they found that her and the Clintons and other families, rich families, were behind this pedophile ring. Pedophile ring. Okay? They were behind this pedophile ring, where they were not only sex trafficking children, but they are drinking children's blood. Oh, Rizza, now you're going too deep. No, I'm not going deep enough, because you really think you're going to get me and all of my people to sit here and forget and take our eyes away from the real enemy to just sit here and say, it's only R. Kelly. You have lost your damn mind if you think that I'm going to allow you to take their mind and make it warped and manipulate them to only hating somebody who is a product, once again, of your system. Pizzagate, the front group dealing with Hillary Clinton, the Clinton family, other rich families who have not only been, once again, selling children into sex trafficking, but also drinking children's blood. As of right now, have you noticed it was only a tradition in the Jewish community mainly to drink children's blood after they frightened the child. So it is a mixture of blood and adrenaline. And they believed that this mixture of blood and adrenaline was and is the fountain of youth. So they would drink the blood blood, and they felt and believed that they were becoming younger. Well, right now, in present time, what are they doing? Interestingly enough, at certain blood banks, at certain hospitals, at certain medical establishments all throughout the country in the United States, aren't they now giving people shots with children's blood? Aren't they now giving people facials with the skin from circumcised penises? Sandra Bullock said that she gets penis facials with the skin that has been circumcised from little children's penises to stay younger. You want me to keep going? You think it's only R. Kelly? You want to put all of this on one man, and you don't want to open up this can of worms, huh? You don't want to go there, America, because your darkness is thick. To try to make it seem like, oh, it's just R. Kelly. All black women hate R. Kelly. No. R. Kelly did what he did. Okay, go to jail. But he ain't the only one, and he ain't the first, and he ain't the last, and he's not the damn worst. This whole goddamn country is the biggest hypocrite on the planet. You will never try to convince me to go along with this emotional circus that you got going on, destroying the minds of women right now who watch this all across this damn country. Women who have been molested, women who have been raped, women who have been taken advantage of all throughout this damn country after watching that documentary are out of their minds right now. They are triggered. They are stuck in the past with the nigga who did it to them in their mind, the uncle, the cousin, their father. And you mean to tell me you helped them? You helped them by putting all of this out to trigger millions of women, black, white, and all in between? Just to say, oh, we're trying to bring down this tyrant surviving R. Kelly like he's some huge, wicked demon. Like he's the father of pedophilia, the father of rape culture, the father of you ain't slick, America. You ain't slick. I like how you tried it, but you ain't slick. The Caucasian white man surviving America, surviving white supremacy, surviving the system. That's what it really is. And R. Kelly is a part of it as well. The behavior is what he learned because it was inflicted on him. R. Kelly was being molested for years. So it is no surprise that he carried out what was carried out upon him. It is psychology that when you overwhelm a person psychologically, the enemy has a way of using warfare on a heavenly level, meaning higher mind, mentality, mental, not simply physical, but mental. They know that if I can put the face of someone whom they like or love or appreciated their artistry or appreciated their music, and I can put his faults and his demons and all the negative things he's done, messed around with little girls, and he admitted that he did mess around with little girls in his song called I Admit, where he admitted everything. They know that if they use him and they bring it out at this time, when he is trying to bring his career back, and black people are starting to love one another, and black women are starting to trust black men again, and black families are talking about coming together and black excellence and black power and we buy black and black own everything, that all we need is somebody who they love and we can grab his faults, the things that he did, and put them up there to destroy the unification again between the black man and the black woman. And you tell me I'm lying. Tell me you didn't look at R. Kelly and start to think about black men and what black men are capable of. And you know what? I bet they be thinking that all the time. I bet black men be thinking that. Yeah, he ain't the only one. I know these niggas out here, yeah, you know what? Ain't none of them good. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. The agenda is for all of us, black men and women. Separate us. Why? Because divided you will conquer, and divided they have conquered us. I don't give a damn what you think. I don't operate off of emotion when it comes to this. You need to see what the enemy is doing. And Minister Farrakhan continues to tell you, look at what the enemy is doing. Watch them. America. Women have always had to fight for rights. America. Women had to fight for the right to vote. America. Women had to fight for the right to go to church. America. Women had to fight for the right to get a job. America. Women had to fight for the right to be treated as human beings. America. You mean to tell me all of a sudden You care about women? America? Really? America, you mean to tell me all of a sudden Susan B. Anthony did everything for no reason? You mean to tell me, America, the Me Too movement is for nothing? You mean to tell me, America, all of a sudden you just care so much about the number one woman that you have hated from the very beginning, the black woman? You mean to tell me, America, you love them so much, you care about these black women so much that you are willing to not do the documentary on the over 80 women that Harvey Weinstein, that came out against him, and then the over 20 women that came out against Donald Trump, and all of the women that came out against all of these white men, thousands upon thousands and hundreds of thousands of men in power, men of influence, men who have lots of money, the men who are actually highly relevant. You mean to tell me you didn't want to do any of that because you care so much about these, in particular, black women who you have always hated? The same black women who you experimented on, Sarah Bartman. The same black women who you used their cells to make you younger, and you sold her cells and her body parts all over the world, Henrietta Lacks. The same black women who you have put their breast on your children because your children could not survive off of your breast, Mammy, the mammy on the slave plantation. The same black woman who you would give lashes to on her back, the same black woman who you still disrespect to this very day, the same black woman who you call a black bitch, the same black woman who can be snatched up out of McDonald's simply because a white man does not see her as a human being. You care about them so much. You're a goddamn hypocrite. You're a liar. You're a liar. And you're not going to tell me that R.Kelly and him being a pedophile or committing pedophilic acts or doing whatever he did was that big to where a documentary was merited. A documentary was needed. No, take him to jail. It's very simple. Take him to jail. I don't, what do you mean? Oh, well, he wasn't found guilty, Rizza. Yeah, he sure wasn't found guilty. Yeah. America so far wasn't found guilty by her own laws. America said that we were 3/5 of a human being, and as of right now, America, we're still being murdered by you every 28 hours. A black man, woman, and child is still being murdered by a police officer in America. We're still seeing you get off. You're not guilty. So you think I'm going to believe the same person who kills my people about my people? I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm saying if he's guilty, go to jail. It's real plain and simple with me. You're guilty, go to jail. But everybody who helped you with it, go to jail too. Last 2 points, and I'm done. I thank you all for rocking with your brother. And I thank you all for listening with logic and not emotion. Because we need to understand that this right here, they are trying to do something to manipulate this, to destroy the black family, to destroy the messenger of God, to destroy those of us who are simply doing our best to help the people and wake up the people. And some of y'all was like, man, Brother Rizza, and see all of y'all intellectuals, all of y'all so-called leaders, you're always backing people up just because they're black. Correct yourself. You were being emotional. Don't let the enemy use you and your emotion against your own people. Sisters, never, ever allow this enemy to use your emotion and your pain to come against your own brothers. Brothers, never allow this enemy to use you and your pain, and they're very slick too how they do it, to use you against your own brother, your own sister, your own people. Never allow them to do that, because if they do, guess what? All they got to look at is, wow, we put up a documentary about R.Kelly being a pedophile and it worked. His own people stoned him more than we ever had to. Wow, we can do this about any of their people and it'll work. Their own people will come out against them, even if they're guilty. Because R.Kelly being guilty, all we need to say is, okay, if he's guilty, take him to jail. We do not have to get trumpets and drums and speakers and bullhorns and hire rappers and make a whole goddamn float and parade. Stone that nigga, kill that nigga, chop his dick off. Really? But you're not saying it about this Caucasian white man who's been doing it to you, me, us, our people forever. I'm just saying, look at where you're putting your passion at, sisters and brothers. Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you know what you're doing. Last point. Elijah Wood Corey Feldman. These are names you need to look up when it comes to them exposing Hollywood. If you just hopped on, for those of you who watched the documentary, I dropped a specific bomb dealing with those who are the producers of Lifetime. Lifetime is owned by A&E. A&E stands for, I believe it's Arts and Entertainment. Arts and Entertainment. What you just saw on that documentary was not arts, nor was it entertainment. It was pain. Okay, it was terrible. But A&E is owned by, I believe the CEO of, yes, A&E is owned by the Walt Disney Company. Walt Disney, the CEO of Walt Disney is Bob, aka Robert Iger. Robert Iger was arrested for child pornography. Okay, all right. So the owner of the channel, the CEO of the channel that owns the channel that put the documentary up, he himself was arrested for child pornography. No documentary on him. Another little quick bomb I forgot to mention. Disney in the It's a Small World display and exhibit in Disney, they have tons of secret pedophile symbols. Pedophiles use symbols because, they can't just come out all day long, all the time and say that I'm a pedophile and I enjoy it. No, they have secret symbols. And in the It's a Small World display in Disneyland, they have symbols all in there of pedophiles. In multiple movies, you'll see them in videos, you'll see them all over. People who are the executives are absolutely pedophiles. Absolutely pedophiles. Very simple. See, now when you want to open this up, you open it up all the way. R.Kelly is one, and he ain't the worst. Like I said, he ain't the worst. He ain't even close to the worst. Not even close. But since you want to go there, let's go there. And those of us within the black community, the families, the mothers, the fathers, anyone who has witnessed something go down with your children, or your children told you, Mama, he touched me here. Mama, they did this. Mama, they did that. Daddy, they did this. Daddy, they did that. They remember this. We are the product of slavery. We are the product of it. I'm not justifying this. So men who rape and women who molest and men who molest and all that kind of stuff, remember where it came from. It came from slavery, where it was being done to us every day, day and night, year in, year out, for years, decades, centuries. So we have to address this. People have to get counseling, not drugs. Do not take psychotropic drugs. It will never help you. You cannot use a drug to address an emotion. I have been studying the field of psychiatry for over 12 years, and I have been fighting against the mental abuses within the area of psychiatry for over 12 years. Trust me when I say this, the drugs don't help, not the drugs. Counseling does help. Therapy does help. Get some damn help if you have a problem, if you are a pedophile, if you are a rapist. Go get some help, because the penalty and how we are taught for rape and pedophilia is death. That is the law. However, we in the Nation of Islam, we know our people are the product of this system. They are the product of the system. So the only mercy is get some help. Stop, turn away from that. Apologize. Clean it up. Clean your life up. Clean it up. Clean it up. I'm telling you that. Last point. I got a minute and a half, family. I'm closing this here. According to Article 3 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and this is going to go straight into America's chest. Article 3 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is the right to life. America, you have violated this right that we have as a nation of people. You have violated this right when it comes to all of those people who you have infringed upon by forcing slavery, forcing bombs, forcing murder, forcing chemical warfare, forcing psychological warfare, forcing destructive, harmful, and horrific experiences upon all the members of the human family, and particularly those who are the victims of the transatlantic slave trade. Those of us who are black and brown original people, those of us who are black people in this country, you have violated Article 3 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights as protected by the Geneva Convention, and you will not get away with it. So I'm going to say this to you for once and for all. the original group, the original people who have done these things to the whole planet have been the Caucasian people, and they must take responsibility for it, or else we must separate from their system into a state and territory of our own. I appreciate your family. That has been my hour. If you recorded it, thank you. If you did not, I pray someone did, so I can upload it to YouTube. May Allah continue to bless you.